A lily pad, and today I played Plants vs. Zombies Fusion using only walnuts. PvZ Fusion is a fan game where you can combine all sorts of plants into a lot of interesting things. I'm going to try to see if it is possible to beat PvZ Fusion using only the most simple defensive plant there is out there, walnuts. And to truly see if it is possible, I'm going to be playing the game on maximum difficulty. Are you sure mode? Yeah. This one's a doozy, but I hope you guys enjoy. The challenge starts on level 1-4 because, well, that's when you actually get walnut. The most important part of this challenge is that even though the zombies like brown coats are extremely powerful in this game, mostly because I put them to difficulty 5, walnut is actually one of the only plants to have every other plant available to combine with it, meaning in each level we get to pretty much obtain a new plant to use. Off the bat, we have sun nut, which can be used as a wall while producing sun. It's important to note that when opponent takes certain amounts of damage, it can actually produce extra sun, meaning using it as a wall isn't too terrible. So in another sense, it's good to put my sun producers in the front for this challenge. This doesn't prove you weirdos who like putting sunflowers in the front, you freaks. We also unlock the pea shooter walnut, which is known as Peanut. Yeah, not to get confused with PVZ2 Peanut, because this design is 10 times more disgusting, and its projectile, although pretty weak, has piercing damage. And then we unlock Cherry Bomb Walnut, which you'll see when it's needed. I forgot cherry bomb explosions don't kill them on the highest difficulty. Yeah, that's an interesting fact. Probably the most frustrating part of this challenge is that, well, not everything can be a wall, even if it's in the name, because I need plants in the back too. But also, walnuts cooldown? Yeah, this challenge is gonna be a nightmare. Luckily, by using some tech on walnuts, like fusing them right as they're about to die, or letting our explosive nuts bust by shoveling them, we learned some pretty important skills for this challenge. Okay, now what we do? Holy crap, that flag door needs to take a chill pill. We let those lawnmowers go, and then we use the ultimate walnut fusion. Instead of unlocking the next plant after completing this level, we get the most important tool to this challenge, the glove. The game gives us a tutorial on how our glove works. Basically, every so often, you can move a plant or a zombie around, which will be absolutely key to victory. We're forced to spend most of our early game waiting on actually being able to plant sun nuts down. But the new pole vaulter zombie in this presents a pretty scary challenge where we have to plant a wall and then another wall to stall them. Hooray. Because of all of the spam nuts on our field though, it meant cherry nut worked really well here. However, by the time the first wave was taken care of, my nuts were not replenished in time, and the amount of zombies the game sent was atrocious, and I had to cut my first loss here on the second level of the challenge. I tried a couple more times, but the level just wasn't getting easier. After a couple of attempts though, I realized that because the level begins with a tutorial by showing off our glove's ability, we can ignore the game's instructions and stall out a bit before they start sending zombies. By this time, it also occurred to me that even though Peanut is really bad at taking out zombies, especially on max difficulty, if I were to just spam this guy on the top and bottom row, I only need to have cherry nuts to blow up the middle 3 rows, which is extremely optimal for my cooldowns, and definitely necessary since, well, cherry bombs don't recharge any faster. And even though the cooldown was really starting to wear my setup, we stall long enough for the final wave, literally in the nick of time. The next level introduces the Zombotany pea shooter, which, well, really isn't tragic, seeing as it'll take a millennium for their peas to actually shoot down a walnut. More importantly, we unlock the next walnut fusion. By combining walnut and potato mine together, we get mine nut. This walnut was actually one of my favorite things to use in the adventure mode. It reminds me of that puppet animatronic from Five Nights at Freddy's. Basically, its whole gimmick is that every time its phase changes when being eaten enough, it does a potato mine explosion, and it can do this up to 3 times before dying, making it extremely great for early game. However, because we're on the highest difficulty, a simple potato mine explosion can't even kill some of these basic zombies. Mine nut still has its uses, but it's a bit tragic that we can't use this lovable guy to its full potential. After a couple of attempts, After several attempts, I realized my best bet was to try and weaken bucketheads with a whole bunch of peanuts, so that way cherry nut can one-tap them. Nut tap. Yes guys, I was already crashing out on the 6th level of this world. I can't stress this enough how painful it was. But hey, with the power of editing, you only see a fraction of my pain. I have the highest IQ on the planet! Anyways, the next nut we get is Chomp Nut. I never thought I would how painful it was. But hey, with the power of editing, you only see a fraction of my pain. I have the highest IQ on the planet! Anyways, the next nut we get is Chomp Nut. I never thought I would be so excited to unlock Chomper, but this nut can actually devour bucketheads in one shot, and these tanky explanation zombies they send out. But there is something we unlock after going through these first couple of levels of hell, and that is an advanced fusion. PvZ Fusion showcases 2 advanced fusion levels for each world of the game, and it just so happens Walnut is a recipe used in one of them, Chompzilla. Not to get confused with PvZ Heroes Chompzilla, this one has some really unique abilities for being an advanced fusion. Every bite does 200 damage and heals itself for 200. That's right, this walnut can heal. It shoots a piercing zombie head from its bites that can stall zombies for a bit. Any zombie that